Garcia and Lieutenant Ray Spencer join us now for Behind the Badge. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having us, and good morning. And yes, we're talking about cold cases here, and if it wasn't for the advancements in technology and the support from the community, it would be that much more difficult for us to solve these cases and bring some type of resolution for the family members of the victims. But it's through the hard work and dedication of the cold case detectives that are led by Lieutenant Ray Spencer here.
And I did want to talk about kind of the DNA process. Of course, it's really hard to solve these old cases. The way that DNA was collected decades ago is very different from what it is now, which is why you guys partnered with Othram Labs. They not only do DNA testing, they do genealogy testing, which got you guys so close to Peterson being named as the suspect, but not quite the pin on the head. So how did Metro go from the genealogy testing, narrowing down his family, to finding out that he was the confirmed killer?
So it was a great partnership that we had with Othram Labs, and the fact that they were able to do the genealogy research and the information that they provided to us. We knew we had to get cooperation from the suspect's family, and we reached out to the family and explained the situation and asked them for a consensual DNA sample, which they provided. So it is important that I recognize that even his family was cooperative in our investigation.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. And that was after the Kim Bryant case that came out. You guys announced that, and then someone in our own community gave Metro a call. You said in your press conference they called saying something that they knew had bothered them for years, and they called in with a tip about Diana Hansen's case. Can you go into what that tip was? What was it that bothered them for so many years?
So there was information that the person who provided that tip had, and it had bothered them because they knew the suspect and they knew that he had belongings, that the story just didn't make sense when she called. So, and that's what prompted the call to Metro, and that's why we took a deep dive into the Diana Hansen case.
Wow. And both of those, the family support of the suspect and the concerned citizen giving Metro a call, both bring us to community support. And Metro just started, along with philanthropist Justin Wu, who made a huge donation for you guys to be able to look into these cold cases and partner with Othram Labs, started Vegas Justice League. Can you guys talk about that?
So the Vegas Justice League is, again, you mentioned, with Mr. Wu, and we're very excited because any additional help that we can receive to help us solve homicide cases, cold cases, new cases, we're open to any help that we can get. So we're very thankful for his assistance. And look, in the last several months, we've solved 3 murders as a result of his assistance that would have taken us a lot longer to solve. So we're very, very excited about the possibility of how many additional cases that we're going to be able to solve in the future.
And is this something that people in the community can join in on, the Vegas Justice League?
Yes.
Or support in any way?
Well, again, they do. The Vegas Justice League has their own website that you could go to. You could also donate at the foundation. There's a Metro Police Foundation. And we've also increased our own capabilities in-house. I have 5 detectives that they're part-time detectives, but we're adding 3 full-time detectives to that section as well, just because the capabilities and the advancement of technology is going to help us solve these cases.
Okay. And because Peterson was, not convicted, of course no charges or arrests will be made because he died, but is his DNA now in the database? Will other police departments now be able to determine whether Peterson also convicted crimes in their cities?
So yes, once the DNA is uploaded into what we call CODIS, that's a national database that will be shared or can be shared. Now what we're doing though is we're doing direct comparisons just to make sure that he's not linked to any additional cases here in the Valley.
And the cases you're looking into are 5 similar cold cases from that same era?
That's correct, and there's nothing right now linking him to them, but we want to make sure that we go through each individual case.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I think this is something, of cold cases and someone who's convicted of, or again, not convicted, but someone who committed heinous crimes and went unseen and wasn't found out, is just kind of gripped the community. So thank you so much for joining us this morning and going into a deep dive with us.
Great. Thanks for having me.
All right. And if you have a question for Metro, please send us an email, behindthebadge@fox5vegas.com. We'll go